Good morning, everyone. I will share my screen to you. Mm. Okay, can you see my screen? The slide? Yes, is it okay? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, I will start my presentation. My name is Jongkwan. I'm teaching in Changwon National University at the Department of Environmental Engineering. And since 2019, the today's topic of my presentation is water treatment with uh, AI. And so I hope this presentation provided interesting information to you. Uh, I'm sorry because I'm just adjusted this one. Because actually I want to see the student face because without checking that I can understand. I do know the about the some I cannot see any feedback to you. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. I will start. Yes. First of all, I would like to briefly introduce myself. I received my master's degree from GIST in 2011 and completed my PhD at UNIST in 2017. My academic advisor for both degree was the Professor Jaewon Cho. And after that, I worked as a postdoc researcher from 2017 to 2019. In September 2019, I began working as a professor at the university. Currently, I'm visiting scholar at the KIST Europe Research Institute in Germany for 1 year. So that is why, unfortunately, I have to meet you online today. During my graduate studies, I didn't have opportunity to learn about the AI techniques because my research area focus on water treatment uh, as a such as a membrane system for desalination or coastal wetland for wastewater treatment. However, during my postdoc period, I went to the laboratory for studying about the environmental modeling lab. So since then, I have been interested. I can learn how to apply the AI into the environmental engineering field. So after that, I have been interested in applying AI to water treatment system, and I'm now conducting related research with my student. Okay. Uh, So today I prepared three sections. One is understanding AI, and second is application of AI to water treatment, and third one hands-on practice for building AI models. Okay, let's start from the first section. So before we talking about the water treatment with I heard that you've already learned about the various water treatment topics in the class from the professor, right? So could you let me know what did you learn so far? Maybe uh, Maybe someone can type in the chat. No, you didn't learn anything from the class? Okay, okay, I understand. When I was a student, actually, I didn't want to say something during the class. Yes, but maybe I think you run the kind of things, right? The water chemistry, the membrane, some desalination, disinfection byproducts. Kind of things is the very common topics in water treatment. Now let's move to on the next keyword with AI. So what is AI? I believe everyone has some idea of AI is, but defining it clear is not so easy. So that's why we are going to start this presentation with a definition of AI. According to Wikipedia, artificial intelligence is the capability of a computational system to perform tasks typically associated with human intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, perception, and decision making. However, these days people often use similar terms when talking about AI, for example, machine learning and deep learning. So can you distinguish what is different between these words? Because no many people using these words without any uh, cognitive what is different that. So I prepared this one. In this slide, I would like to give a brief overview of the history of artificial intelligence. Before 1950s, AI was mainly a topic of science fiction. But after that, it began to emerge as a real research field. In the early stage, researchers designed a simple program that can solve basic mathematical problems. However, these were far too limited to handle the complex real-world challenges. Then 1980s, algorithms with the ability to learn from data begin to appear. This is what we now call machine learning. Then back to then, the computational power wasn't enough, so it took a long time to process the data. Finally, since 2010, thanks to powerful computer system and internet-based data, those limitations has been overcome with deep learning. So by understanding the historical context of AI, you will be better able to distinguish between AI, machine learning, and deep learning. Now we can clearly understand that difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning. So AI is a system that mechanically implement and automate human cognitive abilities, such as perception, reasoning, learning, and problem solving. And machine learning is a system in which the computer learns on its own form data without being the programmed. And deep learning is a type of the machine learning that use a big data as artificial neural network to run complex patterns. So for example, when you walk toward a building and the door open automatically using a motion sensors, we can say the door used AI because it mimics human perceptions. However, Since there is no running process involved, we cannot say it used machine learning. On the other hand, if the door can recognize people by analyzing human shapes from the data, they can we can say it used machine learning. So finally, if someone claims that some machine used deep learning, but there is no neural network or large database system, we can say it actually machine learning, not the deep learning. So now let's take a close look at the field of the machine learning. So in general, the most common application of machine learning are classification. So, and regression and clustering. The classification means sorting data into categories. For example, the computer learns to assign the labels such as yes or no or cat and dogs, like these pictures, based on the input data. And regression is about predicting on numerical values. You give the computer some data and it learns to predict outcome like price, temperature, or ages. Clustering involved finding natural groups in data. The computer analyzes data and groups similar items together, even if you don't tell it what its groups should be. So let me give a couple of quick questions. So first question is, so optical character recognition is classification, regression, or clustering? What is it? You can guess it. Mm, oh, no? Any any idea about that? What 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 is this? According to our definition. It can be clustering or it can be classification. It's not a regression, right? And the second one is um, stock price prediction. So what is it? This is the typical type of regression. Okay. So we are now starting to understanding how machine learning can be applied in real world. Okay, let's move to the next topic. So now let's talk about how does the machine learning learns from data. So there are two main learning methods, supervised and unsupervised learning. The supervised learning is a method where the model learns from labeled data. This means that every input used for training has a label or names. For example, if we give the computer pictures of cats and dogs with labels like a cat and dog, it learns from recognized them. And unsupervised learning is a method where the model learns from unlabeled data. In this case, you give the computer data without any labels and it finds patterns or groups on its own. I'll show you some clear examples on the next slide. So this is the graphical explanation of supervised learning. So first, we prepare data for each animal's labeled its sample. For example, cat and dogs, because there is two groups, the cat and dog. Yes. Then we feed the label data into the computer, and it started to develop a model using a specific machine learning algorithms. And to check the model accuracy, we use the separate test data set as input. If the model is trained very well, the computer can successfully classify the animals. So there is a very common process when you're doing some machine learning, the algorithms. So we call the first thing is train data. Because the algorithm, they need the data because it is the machine learning I already told you, make a model run from the data. So the training data, the algorithm used to find some typical characters. And then they make a model. And after that, when we evaluate the model, we have to put the different data because it is kind of that. When you have an exam, the professor gives us some 10 questions for prepare the exam. And when you have the day for the exam, maybe the professor will be different question, right? If you got the same questions, your grade will be high, but we cannot find the you studied hard or not. So when we make a model, we use training data and then we check the accuracy, we have to use test data. This is the common logic in here. And now let's talk about the unsupervised learning. In this method, we don't label the data in advance. In this picture, you can distinguish the difference from the previous slide. And the all mixed data is used directly as an input. The computer forms cluster based on the certain algorithms. Then using trained machine learning model, we can distinguish between the groups and even assign a label to them afterward. So the unsupervised learning, in here, that clustering, they clustered certain the data based on their some characters, but they don't know what how can we call the data of the groups. But after finishing the clustering, normally people the person the assigned name in here. So from these two learning methods, we can recognize how important data is because machine learning model is developed based on the data it received. So for example, if we want to train a model to distinguish between cats and dogs, the data must include sufficient number of the cat and dog images, not images of foxes or wolves. Now, can you find the Chihuahua among the muffins? This is very common the data set. Very, it is sometimes is people also human is very confused choosing the which one is Chihuahuas or muffins. Yeah, but now we are talking about this later. And do you think another thing is I will show the different thing because the data is everything can be data, not only the image, also some text or sound, many things can be. So next I'll show the famous example where a machine learning model teaches itself. So I will open it. It's not important. Okay. Wait a minute. I will share different one. Okay. This is very famous, the video for the machine learning. Can be the expert as time goes on. So I will change the slide also. Mm, okay. Yeah, so this is very amazing things because the machines learn something itself. So we called it actually this type of learning is reinforced learning. So reinforced learning is a type of machine learning where an agent learns to make a decision by interacting with its environment. So the agent received reward or penalties from its actions or generally learns from best strategies to maximize total reward over time. Look at this figure here. In the center of the figure, there is the agent in the middle, and the fire on the left side and water on the right side. Which direction is safer? Of course, the right is the safer. However, the agent doesn't know that what is the better or not. It needs the data to run. So it is try different actions. In the beginning, it may be negative point when they step into the fires, but eventually it learns the best path through the trial and error. This is the process and principles, how they run by the reinforcement learning. So one of the most well-known example of reinforced learning is AlphaGo. So it was a very sensational event at the time, but it also have happened 9 years old. Yeah, 9 years ago. So at the time, maybe the student middle school or some is elementary school student. So AlphaGo is past version. So there is a new version in now. So kind of GPT is the kind of this kind of new algorithms. And so now I want to summarize the section one from here. So we learned three different meaning of the word. The artificial intelligence is the largest the area, and machine learning, they contained the deep learning in there. So please keep this one. I always say to my student when they taking my class. Yes, this is very sometimes many people confuse about that. And the major task of the AI is classification and regression and clustering. And there are three learning methods: is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. The important thing is data is the most important factor for developing AI. Okay, so that is the first section. Do you have any questions about that? Okay, let's move to next section. So section two is application of AI to water treatment. Now let's come back to the today's main topics, water treatment with AI. So we already talked about the what is the AI from the previous slide. So I would like to reframe the question in different way. Water treatment with is same thing, is the water treatment with data, because the important keyword is data for the AI. So when you change the word AI to the data, that's the same meaning, I think. So I would like to introduce some cases of the water treatment with AI. So traditional research in the field of environmental engineering has often involved sample from the environment, followed by data analysis and interpretation. For example, samples are collected from water, air, or soils, and through the detailed analysis, researchers can evaluate the efficiency of treatment process or accumulate data to predict the future environmental trend. This kind of research trend naturally lead to connection between AI technology and environmental modelings. So using this one, normally people can expect some temperature or sometimes the firing rate, some flux kind of things we can guess from the data. The first case is prediction of the water flow with deep learning. This research presents a prediction of water flow using a deep learning approach. But don't worry, need to understand every word in title. But if we look at the figure, the x-axis present time, y-axis indicate the amount of the water flow. The blue line show the observed values, and the red line show the prediction values made by deep learning model. The second case is the prediction of the water quality using a machine learning approach. This study focuses on the prediction BOD and COD in streams using the machine learning method. So in the figure, the x-axis show the observed BOD and COD, and while the y-axis shows the predicted values. As you can see, the machine learning model showed a very good argument between the observed and prediction result. Another area of research related to the water treatment and AI is environmental analysis using AI techniques. So as analytical techniques have improved, it has become possible to obtain high precious and large volume of data. This data not only increase the accuracy of the actual result and analytical result, but also enable researchers to extract multiple insight from the single data set. For example, if you put the sample in some one instrument, but the instrument give the many kind of the result. Example, some signal and some light or the size, they can give the many information just one time. So in the following sections, I will introduce some studies that demonstrate this kind of approaches. The first technology involved identifying algae species using deep learning techniques. This study aimed to make traditional algae classification more efficient and convenient. Generally, algae are identified manually under a microscope, like the figure in there. So the researcher, a person, examined the sample one by one to determine the species and count the cell. This process is time-consuming and labor-intensive. To solve this problem, researchers applied deep learning to develop a more automated and classification method. The second technology involved the optical measurement device to predict thickness of fouling layers. For example, as a water purifier filter kind of a membrane I used over time, the fouling layer is increased on the surface. By using optical sensor, we call the OCT, it's possible to monitor the thickness of the fouling layer in a real time. So in 1 second, maybe it can take a lot of the pictures about the cross section. When this image is collected and processed as a big data, they can be used to training AI model. So it can make a prediction model for future the fouling thickness for estimation. The last case about that is draw project. So the full aim is data-driven AI for resource recovery from wastewater. This project is funded by European Unions. So they aim to enhancing wastewater treatment plant by leveraging artificial to optimize the resource recovery and improve operational efficiency. So it has some video about explaining that. I will let you know about that. Mm. Let's go to slide. Yes, so as I mentioned before, the the important keyword is data. So the rest the case, they try to get a lot of data from the some pumper and some sensors, and then they correct it using this one. They making a some system. This is the common logic. What's going on in when water treatment with AI process. So this is the end of the section 2. So anyone have a question? Not yet. Everything is okay. Yes, this is the actual last section. I have some example to familiar with making the AI model to you. So before entering this section, so I want to ask you, how many students access this meeting with your own notebook? I mean the laptop. Can you raise your hands? No, no one access with laptop. You just smartphone. No one. Maybe you can say like this when I have a class, I sometimes do like this. Maybe. No, no one. No one. Yeah. Okay. I didn't expect one or two students maybe bring the laptop, but anyway, I can show you what we'll do. Okay. First, we will make the machine learning model for classifying Chihuahua and Muffin. So this one. Can you remember these figures, these pictures? So using this one, we can make a machine learning for classification in a very fast and in easy way. You don't need to run over the code. The procedure is like this. The first, find as many Chihuahua and Muffin images as you can from the website. So you know that I already told you when we developing the breakthrough the problem from the machine learning, when they change the paradigm from machine learning to the deep learning, it becomes the big data and internet service. Because from this service, people can gather a lot of images from the website. So you can use it this same way to find as many Chihuahua and Muffin images as you can. And second, to upload the training data to the platform. And next slide, I will let you know which platform we will use. And the last one is test the training model using the test data. So this is the platform of the for the making the machine learning. The name is a teachable machine. So have you heard about that? No? It is launched by Google in 2019. So when you write down the name on the website, you can see kind of this one. And then you just click the get started. You can move to the next the window, kind of the new project. There are 3 projects you can see in the website: image project, audio project, and pose project. Each project has the different the principle for the machine learning, but the it means that it said that the data is not only for the image. The audio project, they use the sound. So if you correct the voice, for example, from your father and mother or your friend, you can record their voice, and then if you put the data in audio project, you can make some machine learning model can classify the name voice. And the pose, sometimes it use the webcam. So through the webcam, the camera correct the every image in second. And then finally you can make some model. The the computer can explain the shape of your body is what does mean about that if you assign the name of that. But we will use the image project in here. This is the easiest one. But if you're finishing this project, you can apply. You can do anything. It's very easily. So if you click the image project, you can see this one. Well, we will use standard image model. And you can see this kind of the window. And then there's two class. The class means the label. I already told you when you making a supervised running, we need a label about that. So you write down the name of the some samples and then upload the file in there. So Chihuahua and Muffin, you write down in there and you just drag the every some images in here, Chihuahua and Muffin. After finishing this one, you just click train the model. After that, everything is finished. In here, so far you didn't type any code, but the model is developed. After that, you can use the other test data input in here. Finally, you can check the output. This graph, this figure is Chihuahua or Muppet. There's some percentage of the accuracy or the matching rate. You can see it. It is very simple and easy way to making a classification machine learning model. Okay. And if you click that site, you can see this kind of window. So there are a lot of types of the languages. There's a JavaScript and Python kind of things and Keras, OpenCV Keras. But if you can copy this one and you can modify this code when you need to develop the code. If you sometimes add something, you can do it. So this is for the expert level. But you can do this one or you don't need to this one if the platform is always served the easiest way. Actually, I prepared some uh, data and because I just uh, thought maybe some student bring the laptops, I will conduct this thing together. Maybe after finishing this one, I will show you briefly. Okay, and it will be very better to that. So actually, using this one, my department student win the prize from the song competition. So when you say this one is lost water, so sometimes there are some old pipeline, they make something oxidized iron, so it has a color. So after finishing run, after taking a class, my class, the three students thought that what if we just making artificial lost the iron and then they filtered from the water and making it showed some colors in there. So they knew that it means they can label it. So the the strong color, can say the reddest one is maybe the high concentration, and the if there's concentration low, the color will be the dismissed. So they making a many kind of data and they put this data sample into the machine learning, the teachable machine platforms, and they made some very small machine learning models. And then using this one, they explain to the committees. So if we're using this one, we don't need to making a large and expensive some uh, some instrument. It's very easy and quick and people can understand directly. So that's the reason why they got the prize in there. So I just want to say the important thing is not the how to make a code. The important thing is that the creative idea, because app platforms, they served in many ways. So you don't need to worry about making a machine learning code. The final goal of the AI is to people using this technology without any barriers. So the most thing is that the way thinking of the way is the most important thing. And another thing is the application of GPT. So there's the procedures: prepare data, upload training data to GPT, and test the training model using test data. So I also have some example about that. But hey, this is the prompt. You know that what is the prompt? I think most of us universities they use the GPT when they're making some report or sometimes they when they study because sometimes it very give the very good result, but it is depending on the prompt, which kind of the question you made, it according to the prompt, the question, the quality of result is different. So if we follow this one, we can make a small model for machine learning. So I will show you this one later. So this is summary of the presentation. So water treatment with AI is I want to say those two sentences important. Every AI technique require data, and using AI technique is not difficult. So the most important thing is practical and creative ideas. Okay, so let's move to the another. Maybe this is the last part. Mm, okay, can you see my screen, the GPT, right? Yes. So actually, I conducted this way. First, I will show you teachable machine. It is very easy. You click this one. You click image project. You click this one. You can find this one. And upload and upload. Maybe can talk, muffin, and actually I prepared it also in here. So So this is everything is the show. So upload. Oh, my mistake. Upload. Okay, and muffin. And making the model. It will finish. Then you just put the test data I have here. This one. You just change this on the file and put this one. It's over. You can the dog is 99%. Here you can, if we choose different one, it's morphine. But it's not the perfect model because the model can do 24% is dog. It's only 76 is morphine. But if you put the many a lot of number of the image in there, maybe the percentage is different. And the last one is the GPT. I have some okay. This is the data, water quality data, real data from I got this one from environmental, the Ministry of web page. You can access any person in there. There is a data inside the temperature and so on. You have this one, chlorophyll. So if you have this data, you can upload the GPT and you can write down the same prompt. So first check the upload file. And then the GPT is analyzed. The file is what is in there. Date, site, temperature, everything they have it. And then I asked another thing is can you make a regression model? And we have to choose what is the target value. In this case, the chlorophyll will be the target. So target parameter is chlorophyll. So they are making the model in here. So actually, this is the name of the algorithms. There are a lot of algorithms, but I choose before the SVR, so they use the same one. And it has the accuracy is 0.46%. So it means they already made the model. And then I will ask that, what is the number of chlorophyll? Because this is target. So I put the other parameters, conductivity, DO, TOC kind of things. Actually, this looks very weird, but because I just copy this one from the Excel file. So it is okay because the GPT understand it. In here, I put some parameters and then they showed the predicted chlorophyll concentrations like this. So we can check it. Actually, I just copied this one in here. And then the model I input this data is the actual the observed result value is 10.3. GPT showed 10.5. So it is very easy and clear. So you don't need to study about the code actually. But if you want to show the code, you can say like this, give me the code for this work. Or they show this all of the code in there. And you just copy and just paste in your computer so you can operate by yourself in your computer also. So this is very easy way how to make a machine learning. So that's all I prepared today. Thank you for listening. So any questions is welcome to me.
Okay, thank you for your very good lecture, Professor Park. And students, if you have any questions, then you can turn on your audio to ask him directly, or you can type your question on the chat box as well. Professor Park, and can you tell me from your experiences, from your knowledge, and people actually use ChatGPT when they design the actual water treatment, or these types of AI approach, the based on machine learning and the deep learning with water treatment is academic the basis. What do you think?
Mm, Actually, the both ways possible. Uh, because GPT has a lot of information in many ways. So some people want to design the water treatment but the important thing is what we ask to the GPT. I already told the prompt is very important. So if in some people in industry, so they want to make some process, if we write down many things in there, GPT give the kind of things. But actually, in my experience also, when I'm thinking about some water treatment the process, so I thought, and I keep asking that, I remove this kind of organic matter from the water, but the characteristic like this, what can I choose as a water treatment system? And it gives some hint or some suggest some process. And then keep asking about that. Finally, I found some new technology, sometimes kind of that. So I think both is a very effective way using the GPT.
Any question from students? So you are staying in German right now. So German person, a researcher, they also interested in artificial intelligence with water treatment and environmental science, environmental engineering.
Yeah, of course, because in European countries, the most of they trying to study of the AI nowadays. And first on AI, second is the climate change. So they
Okay.
trying how can we uh, reduce carbon emission
Okay.
and how can we protect our the environment. But the way is one of the way is to using the AI technique. So people are very popular about that, and a lot of fund is they invest to solve this problem in here.
And your application of AI with water treatment is very popular here in Korea and European countries, of course, and the US. So which model or which the product is most popular these days among ChatGPT from OpenAI and Gemini from Google. So what do you think? So you introduce today ChatGPT from OpenAI, right? And
Yes,
what's
yes.
the possibility or what's the uh, opposite or competing software from
Mm.
the Google, for example?
It's actually a very difficult question for me because I'm the environmental engineer. So I'm on the side in the environmental engineering research. And but I trying to reach the AI's the field. So actually
Okay.
I cannot distinguish which one is the best the AI. But I think anything we can use. But the always I sometimes I co-work with the computer science the persons, but they always keep want where can I get the data?
Hmm.
So that's
Okay.
why I emphasize kind of things. So anything we can choose it, but our the strong point is we have a data, we can make a data, and we can use anything. Yes,
Mm,
that's my opinion.
okay. Okay. Still, you are very clear from the flow of the students. So I asked Professor Bach to give me one question for your term project. So if you have any questions, and you can send the email to Professor Park. And also I upload this the lecture, the video, so on some site. I will let you know the connection after this class. Okay. So once again, thank you very much, Professor Park, and even in very early in the morning, very late in night, so in German. So thank you for your the kind the knowledge and sharing your knowledge experience as well. The students, thank you for your participation. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you can get out, students. 이제 다 끝났으니까 주무셔도 되겠네요, 그죠? 오늘 수고
네.
많으셨습니다.
아닙니다. 이거 좀 더 재밌게 해보려고 그랬는데 온라인이 좀 어렵긴 하네요. 같이 막 호응해서 하기가. 네.
예, 예, 그래도 뭐
네.
잠깐만 이게 녹화를 끄도록 할게요.